Python water changing system is, in my opinion, one of the hobby's greatest innovations. It allows you to vacuum your substrate, remove your water, and refill your tank all with one setup and few moving parts. If you are using an indoor faucet, you will need to use this brass adapter. Inside, you will find 2 rubber gaskets. For most faucets, you will need to take the top one out. You can do this simply by pulling it out with your fingertips. The green pump assembly, as Python calls it, is the heart of the whole system. At the bottom is the valve that lets you switch between siphon and fill modes. On the side is where we will be connecting the hose that will go to the tank. And on the top is the connector where we will attach it to the brass adapter we have already installed. Simply screw it on in a clockwise motion and make sure you have the hose connection facing outward. If you'll be using an outside hose bib, simply attach it there without the brass adapter. Once you have secured the pump to the faucet, attach the main hose. These hoses come in several different lengths, so you can reach anywhere in the house. Be sure to purchase a long enough hose that will reach any tank you currently have in your house, or any that you may decide to put in later on. We have found that in smaller sinks like this one, they may not be able to handle the higher volumes without making a big mess. To get around this, we have added an extra section of hose that goes from the sink over to the bathtub. It was a very inexpensive fix and has saved us lots of trouble. If you have a small vanity sink like this one, I highly recommend you doing this. At the other end of the hose, you will find a green end with a valve. Connect the gravel tube of your choice here. They have several different varieties available. Because of the range in tank sizes that we have at our house, we have 3 different tubes. Don't be afraid to get more than one. When you are ready to start, turn the valve on the bottom of the pump counterclockwise and pull down. Then turn on the water. For most tanks, turn the water up all the way. This is what produces the suction needed to remove the debris. If you are using a nano tank like a 3 to 5 gallon, I would suggest turning it down a bit. Put the siphon tube into the tank and turn the valve to start the suction. If the valve handle is in line with the hose, it is turned on. If it cuts across the hose, it is turned off. Now you can vacuum the substrate as needed. For a more in-depth tutorial on tank cleaning, please see my video on that topic. I'll add a link in the description. If you find that you've sucked up a snail or your fish are getting a little too curious, you may need to stop or slow down the flow. Just adjust the valve and let them fall back down. If you finish cleaning your substrate before you've removed enough water, just hold it off to the side a bit. When you're done, point the tube upwards and pull it out of the water, letting it all get sucked out. If you pull it straight out, it will send everything right back down the tube. Leave the valve open until the water has made its way back up to the sink. When it has, close the valve. If you have not purchased the Python's hook attachment, just leave the siphon tube on and use that to refill with. If you did buy it, disconnect the siphon and attach it now. It may seem like a waste of money for those with a single small tank, but if you have multiple tank syndrome or just one large one, it is worth every penny. Return to your sink and with the pump valve still open, set the water temp to something close to what you think your tank is. And when you have it, push up on the valve and turn it clockwise. Now go back to your tank and slowly open up the valve. It is common to have a rush of air come out if the valve was closed, so I will often open it back up once I've attached the hook. Either way, just pay attention and make sure to keep the water flow under control. Now is a great time to add any water treatments you might need. At the very least, remember to add water conditioner of your choice and follow the instructions. Today we are changing water as part of a treatment for a minor ick outbreak, so we're also adding medication for that. Once your tank is filled back up, turn off the valve and remove the hook. I recommend doing it the way I show on screen. If you don't, you'll probably end up with water left in the top of the hook all over your floor. Now open the valve from the bottom of the pump to suck all the water back out of the hose. I forgot to show it here, but you will want to open the valve at the other end of the hose too. When it's finished draining, turn off the water, disconnect the hose, and remove the fittings. Make sure to replace the aerator and check to make sure you have it installed properly. And finally, make sure all heaters, air systems, filtration, and any other accessories are plugged back in and working properly.